Welcome everybody back to another Spinner Rack review, and today we are going to be talking about Avengers Halloween Special. I gotta say, I like this comic. I like it when Marvel does these type of things, you know, comics that have multiple stories in them. This was a pretty good one. As you can see, one of them is definitely going to have the Captain America involved in it, and he definitely does come out a little bit more like a Franken Captain America, if you know what I mean. But let's delve into the comic and you tell me what you think about it. The comic contains 5 different stories, and one of the very first one actually is the one dealing with Daredevil, where Matt Murdock gets back his eyesight. And let's put it like this: it kind of plays into, you know, he has his sight, and basically he acts for this all his life, and you know, it doesn't turn out as you expect. Naturally, being a Halloween comic, it is scary as hell. The art in all the stories is generally pretty good, and this one wasn't bad either. The story was to the point, and again, this is one of the things I like about these small anthologies of comics. So the next story we get is Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom realizes there's something wrong with the Fantastic Four, so he goes about trying to handle the situation. You know, Dr. Doom is one of my all-time favorite characters, and it's pretty interesting how he comes about, how he figures out how things should be and shouldn't be. And of course, this being a Halloween story, it doesn't turn out the way you would hope. So here's the comic that we see from the cover of the comic book. Here, this one's a story that deals with a Captain America, and basically an experiment that Stark's father had back in the past, which is Captain America, and what Stark is trying to do now to deal with the issue that his father left behind. And let's put it like this: Captain America isn't all goodness and happiness when we see him. This comic took me for a little bit of a loop. I wasn't sure exactly where they were going, but as you start looking into it, you start seeing elements of a very famous story or a very famous play that people have probably been either forced to go to, or, you know, some people enjoy it, some people don't. But it's pretty interesting how they go about it, and it's I think it's a good story as it continues. But the key thing is the twist at the end, as you start finding out that the character that we originally thought he becomes something else, or he becomes 2 characters, you know. But yeah, take a look at this one. It takes a little to get into, but you get it right away after a while, because all the elements in the original story of this particular character hold through with this too. So the last story we have to deal with is the haunted house, and it's pretty interesting what the name of this haunted house is. So let me just zoom in here and you'll take a look at this. Is Xavier School for the Gifted, and that's the haunted house. It just seems that the X-Men are no longer in residence, or no longer in residence the way we think they normally would be. We're not sure what happened in this world, but again, Halloween story, so, you know, already there's suspension of disbelief. We're going to have to have more of it this time too. But it was a pretty cool story, pretty interesting, about 2 kids going inside, and, you know, what's going on in the house, or what's left behind in the house is probably more like it. I say, yeah, it's not a bad story. So overall, I truly enjoyed this Avengers Halloween Special, though the name is a little bit of it's not correct. You know, first of all, you have the X-Men; they're not Avengers. You know, Punisher usually handles stuff on himself. So I'm not exactly sure why they decided to just call Avengers. But you know, this is Marvel. They're out to make as much money as possible, and Avengers is definitely a brand name that's worth that people know about and are willing to plug down cash for. But overall, it's pretty good. One thing I want to say: this particular variant edition that I picked up is selling like hotcakes. So I went over to the store, local comic store, and this was only 2 left. I mean, they had others of the standard variety, but this particular variant couple with Franken Captain America, or Frankenstein Captain America, was the last one of 2. So I doubt the other one lasted long, because there was somebody right after me. But if you can go, run out and get it. But it's an enjoyable issue, and happy Halloween to all y'all. Later. Spinner Rock out!